You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Chris!
The heroes are back. Beards talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Battered Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas band, join the tribe and just buy $3.99. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 336 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Gannett, alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
We got a lot of thingy things here in the middle here. For those of you on audio, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. It's you know what? It's the preview of the preview. We do our preview shows before the game. Last week we did it on Tuesday. We're going to do it again on Tuesday tomorrow with Eric from Section 128. But usually on those preview episodes, we kind of focus in on our guest and let them kind of tell us about the team. But because we feel like this is such an important match, because if you really think about it, if we were to hypothetically lose, this is the biggest game we're going to play up until October.
Yeah.
This is the biggest game we have right now, right? Now, if we win and we move on, then the next game in the Champions Cup is the biggest. But for right now, this is the biggest game we've had, and it's possibly the biggest game we're going to have until like October, November. So we felt like it needed its own preview of the preview where we can kind of focus in on just the Inter Miami side of things. But there's been some new developing news that I think we need to touch on first. So were you going to say something there before we move on?
No, I mean, I was just looking at like all of these topics. Like we're going to be covering a lot today.
Yeah.
We're going to be covering a lot. And Angel feels it. He feels sick just waiting for Wednesday.
Absolutely. Well, and that's why I wanted to come on, because I don't know. Like, this is the most excited yet nervous I felt for an Inter Miami game. I didn't feel like this for Atlanta. Maybe I felt like this for the Leagues Cup final against Nashville a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe, but this
they were a strong team at the time.
Right, but this feels different. Maybe because at that point we were in the final, and it's like this one feels like if we fail, even though that would have felt bad, like I feel like if we fail, it's like a disaster. Because we're bowing out early again, same as last year. Like I feel like there's more on the line, even though there's no title on the line at the moment. Not at least on Wednesday. I still feel like it's just a lot riding on this game.
I feel like the issue here is that the reason people are nervous now, it's like you said, we're going to be essentially sitting in the same misery we were sitting in last season. And so it's like, you don't want to go through that again. You know what it felt to be knocked out earlier than what you should have.
And it would feel much better. Yeah, I would feel much better if we would have scored in LA also, because at that point, then you could technically give up a goal at home, right? Yeah. And still feel okay. But right now we're at a huge disadvantage. We're going to get into the scenarios in a little bit. But it's something that Chris and I think, Chris, because you and I heard rumblings back in December about Miami's target in the summer being Kevin De Bruyne. But we both kind of brushed it off. One, because we're not reporters. So we're not going to come out here and report something because that's not what we do. We're not reporters. But we did hear about it, that was going to be their goal in the summer. But we both thought that was kind of weird because we feel like we're very South American heavy right now. So we didn't know where that fit. And then when we found out that Jordi Alba got a raise and was now a DP player, it seemed even more unlikely. Yeah. So we heard that the rumors were there, but we didn't see how that exactly was going to happen. So we kept it to ourselves. I think Chris at one point might have had like an inside joke to me about it, right? But we didn't really let it out. But the cat's out the bag. Miami has the discovery rights. Yes. Supposedly there's conversations being had. Kevin De Bruyne is a target for Inter Miami. How are you feeling about this? And I'm asking the chat also, how do you feel about the possibility? And we're going to get into, I know, LAFC and talk a little bit about Toronto also, but I feel like we need to address this before we move on. How are you feeling about the possibility of Kevin De Bruyne in Miami?
Well, if you're asking KBD what he feels about KDB, I like a 90 gold rare card on FC25.
That would be the highest rated card we get because I think even Messi was below a 90 when we got him. Or was he at a 90?
Yeah. No, I think it was below it. But that would be the best gold FIFA card that we would get. So I like that. If you ask me FIFA wise, I'm with it.
And Aria's saying that Messi was a 91 when we got him. Okay, so Messi is still the highest.
Really?
Technically. Yeah, but De Bruyne would be nice also. For those of you asking, thought he was going to San Diego. The reports are saying that they have no plans or intention of following Kevin De Bruyne. And The Athletic came out with an article letting everybody know that Miami, with that funky MLS discovery rule, Miami has the discovery rights to Kevin De Bruyne. Kind of like we found out that Chicago had the discovery rights for Neymar. So, if he comes to the MLS, he would either come to Miami or somebody would have to strike a deal with Miami to get his discovery rights from Miami. My understanding is that Miami wants him. So, we'll see. We could sell his discovery rights, though. He's a dog.
Look at this. He's a dog. I mean, I'll take this any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Absolutely.
I always thought.
Uh-huh.
I thought we'd see him. I honestly thought we'd see him in a West Coast team, like a LAFC, San Diego, Seattle. Like I felt like we'd see him in a West Coast team. I don't know why, but
I mean, I'm sure we can have a lot more conversations about this, especially if we end up getting eliminated from Champions Cup. We're gonna have a lot more time on our hands to talk about this.
Yes.
But real quick, to me, he's been probably the best midfielder in the last 5 years. I know that people are saying that he's taken a step back, but I'm a big fan. People that know me, I'm not a big EPL person, so I just follow players there. I've tried to follow teams. It just hasn't worked out for me, so I follow players. Here. I do have a couple of Kevin De Bruyne kits because I'm such a big Kevin De Bruyne fan.
Careful.
So,
careful.
Why?
Because I mean, look at the team that he's there registered as. Okay, careful.
What, Manchester City?
Yeah, buddy. Come on. You know, you got to be careful in these streets with that.
Well, that's why a lot of people are saying that they thought that he would stick with the City Group, which owns NYCFC. They felt like that would be a simple transition from Man City to their sister team in NYCFC. And it'll be good. I'm not sure why. I'm sure we can get into that. And again, we don't want to waste our whole episode on this, but we did think we needed to touch up on it. But I would be thrilled to have him. Now, where he fits, I guess Messi would move back to right wing maybe and let De Bruyne run the 10 because he's not an 8. It would be interesting. But I think this would be more of he's going to be here for 3-4 years, and he's going to be the face that runs the place after Messi retires.
Well, he's 33 right now. So, exactly. He's not old.
Right. He'd be here for another 3-4 years minimum.
Yeah. And for MLS standard at this very moment, Kevin De Bruyne would body bag people.
And then Ari's asking how would that work with the salary cap? Every team is allowed 3 DP players, 3 DP contracts. At the moment, that would be Messi, Busquets, and Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba was not one until this year when he got a bit of a raise. So then it became a DP contract. So one of two things. They can either buy him down because they got a lot of TAM money, right, that they've built up through all those trades that they've done for extra CAM or TAM money. Or De Bruyne would agree to come down for a smaller contract because it would only be half a season.
Yeah.
And then get paid the big bucks next year. And we say goodbye to either Busquets or Jordi Alba in the offseason. But look, when we heard about the rumblings back in December, to us it meant that there's a plan, right? They're not saying this and having these discussions just cause, right? Like, oh, let's just they have a plan in place. So we'll see. It would be really cool. Well, it's weird, right? Because we're very South American centric, so that's why it doesn't make sense too much.
Well, it doesn't make sense at this moment, right? But like, what does the future hold? I mean, at this point, we've noticed and seen through proof that the Mas brothers cook in the dark. Okay, so in darkness they cook, and they might be cooking up this deal with KDB, and you guys don't even know it. I mean, there's just rumblings now, but I mean, we've heard things for months.
Yeah. So this would be really cool, and I'm really excited to, if this heats up, I'm really excited to have these conversations about where he would fit, because you got Baltasar Rodriguez on his way over here. Like, where do all these players fit? I don't see it, but maybe we'll see. I am interested and hopeful that this could actually happen. All right, so Chris, revisiting Toronto real quick. All right. Yeah. I finally got back a chance to watch the second half without having to like side-eye it and listen to the radio. Yeah. My thoughts on yesterday's game. I thought we played well. We had a lot of chances. I think if we play this way, I think that we should be in good shape for Wednesday. Yeah. Because on Wednesday, we weren't creating chances. Yesterday, we were creating chances. Segovia's taking shots from outside the box. Redondo's taking shots from outside the box. Fafa missed a sitter at the very end of the game. Luis Suarez missed. I think that people are underplaying how difficult of a goal that would be, but because we expect so much from Suarez and who he is, that should have gone in. Obando was getting killed, especially in the chat for yesterday.
Yes,
he had a bad first touch.
Yeah, that's the play that I was telling you about.
Right. And that was the reason that he couldn't hit Messi, because Messi got open, yeah, but once he sees him, that touch is already done. Like, he already has to chase the ball to his left. And at that point, that defender's on him. There's no way he's getting that ball to Messi after that bad first touch.
But did you see when he had the ball, like when the turnover occurred, he rolled with the ball, right? At that point, he did the campana where he could have gone to his right or at least a little straighter. He did the campana and sort of pushed it to his left side. I don't know if he's left-footed or not. I would have to do some more research, but it seemed like he's left-footed because he literally did the campana and pushed it over to his left side. He could have struck it from there. He could have advanced it to Messi. Messi wasn't offsides.
But I don't think that he had the angle for Messi. I really
don't.
And
we're armchair quarterbacking it.
Look at this. Look at what that defender did.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
We got to give the defender some credit also, because if the defender doesn't do this split, he scores.
Yeah.
So I think that we looked much better than people are. Like, I get it, right? It's because it's Toronto that everybody's like, what the hell? But the performance as well. It was 25 shots, like a bunch on target. Actually,
hold on. Mike B saying, you're saying he's right-footed and he pushed it to his left? I mean, look, yes, the pressure was coming from his right side. But, like, look, we're armchair quarterbacking here. In a split second, maybe you don't notice those things. But obviously, from our point of view, and from a little further, you can see that Messi had the advantage. If Obando would have put a good pass down, he would have been able to close on that.
Okay, but that would have been difficult for him. Look, he took that touch. He's 18.
Look, Richard Greenberg pulled his groin looking at that photo, Danny.
Yeah.
I pulled my groin.
That was a beast of a tackle.
One of the best. That's an amazing tackle. I bet you whatever Toronto podcast there is, which I don't even know if there is one, but that was probably the topic of the night. He was the hero. He probably got man of the match other than Messi, for sure.
So would you say DC is a bad team?
I feel like they're so mid, dude. All they do is cross and pray that Benteke lands a header.
Right. So I think people look at DC as a bad team, kind of like they look at Toronto as a bad team.
Very mid.
Right.
Probably less than mid. No, I don't know. No, Toronto has way more capability than DC United, to be honest. Like, so, on paper, I don't
know. San Jose put up 6 on DC yesterday.
One player.
How many shots do you think they took?
10.
They took 20.
Oh, shoot.
We took 23. How many do you think they had on target?
Well, since you said 20, I'd say, I don't know, 12.
10.
Okay.
We had 9. Now, this isn't going to excuse anything. We still only scored 1 goal. I'm just saying, overall, sometimes the ball doesn't go into the back of the net, unfortunately. Sean Johnson had a good game. We held possession for 67% of the game. We had opportunities. We had 2 goals. With the stats that I just gave you, the 23 shots, the 9 on target, that's not counting the 2 goals that got called back.
Yeah.
So, I get it. It was a draw against a bad team. That's fine. But people shouldn't be overreacting about it. It's, I guess, ultimately my point. Because I watched that game back, and it's just one of those games. It happens. It happens everywhere to every team in the world where you play a really good game or you play well enough to win and you don't win.
I just want to mention something because I also want to talk defensively here as well. Let's stick to the offensive side for now. Allende coming in, if Allende is ready, that would be phenomenal.
Those line breaking runs he makes, nobody else on the team does that.
No one, not even Robert Taylor, not Fafa, nobody. And so he's such a game changer because of that line breaking play that he makes, extends and gives space to Messi to operate in the shadows a little bit behind him, because the defender has nothing else but to worry about Allende.
Remember last week we said they're giving us the wide areas, we're not taking them. How do you break down a low block that's compact? You go wide and you take shots from outside the box.
Yeah, and that's Allende.
You go wide to spread them out, and then you take shots from outside the box to force them out because they know that I'm crazy. I'm a mota. I'm going to take that shot. So you got to come up. And that's how you open up that compact defense that's kind of the low block. And we need somebody to attack those wide areas. Allende can do that, and hopefully Jordi Alba does that. And we need people taking shots from outside the box. Yesterday, I saw Allende, not Allende, I'm sorry. I saw Segovia take a shot from outside the box. Never happens. Redondo take a shot from outside the box.
He tried,
I saw Toto Aviles take a shot from outside the box.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys look at this game over, like, this wasn't a horrible game. Disappointing, yes. Horrible, far from it.
And I think one of the other keys, and I'll speak a little bit defensively here, is that you had Jordi Alba, who pushes up really high. You're leaving one of the most dangerous right wingers in the entire league to have a field day back there with no defenders. And the one point I want to bring up is that Noah Allen, he's very comfortable with Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba feels comfortable moving up because he knows Noah Allen can cover him. Yesterday, we didn't have Noah Allen. It was Gonzalo Lujan. That's not somebody that Jordi Alba is comfortable with.
And that's the next thing I wanted to bring up is that Lujan was getting cooked by Bernardeschi.
Yes.
And usually it's going to be Falcon there or Noah Allen.
Correct.
So I'm feeling much better in the aspect that, one, LAFC on their right side, they have under, right? That's how they supposedly pronounce it. He's not Bernardeschi. He's not bad. He's good.
No,
but he's not Bernardeschi. But he's not Bernardeschi.
No way.
And then we're going to have Noah Allen or Falcon on the left side.
But they do have their Bernardeschi and Boanga playing the left wing. Now, this is where I feel like we have an advantage because Ian Frey doesn't push up as high, recovers better on defense.
And I think he's the best defensive fullback we have.
Absolutely. And so to me, that same problem that we had with Bernardeschi is not going to be the same on the right side, guys.
And then also let's remember that in this game, Bright will be on there for more than how many games? How many games did he play yesterday?
20 minutes.
20. He's going to be on there for probably 90 minutes or close to 90 minutes. And that will also make a huge defensive difference.
That's one thing I wanted to talk about, Danny, because this with Redondo and Bright could quite possibly be the best and sign of future connection, or it could be a disaster. Because we've seen Redondo and Bright play together.
That's right. Busquets isn't playing.
And that's the thing. We haven't seen really great play out of those two guys in the middle.
Well, Bright and Redondo running out there 90 minutes then. Because I thought that Redondo would come in for Bright in like the 80th. No, they're both running out there 90 minutes.
Oh yeah, and I mean, what the only thing you're going to have is maybe Ben Kren coming in, filling in for one of those two guys.
No, those two guys are going to. No, there's nobody else that could.
I mean,
it's a
who else?
three man rotation.
Ruiz?
Exactly. They're going to run out there 90 minutes.
Oof. I mean, you got to have David Ruiz. He's a dog back there.
This is the opportunity for Redondo to have his moment, right? Because he has to fill in the Busquets shoes. Bright is going to play Bright's position. Bright is going to do what Bright does.
Yeah.
Busquets isn't there. Redondo needs to fill in that Busquets role. He needs to do what Busquets does. And everybody says, oh, Redondo and Busquets, they don't work well together because Redondo basically does what Busquets does.
Correct.
So that doesn't mix. Busquets isn't there. Yes, Redondo is the question mark, but this is his time to shine. This is his opportunity. And I'm going to have my fingers crossed because if he has I thought he had a good game. You and the chat were killing him. I watched the game over. Yes, he had some bad giveaways. I've granted, I'm not going to deny that. But he also played well. If he can play, avoid some of those turnovers and play like he did yesterday, they're going to be in okay shape. If Allende comes back, I'm not feeling horrible. But can we move on to this next part that I want to talk about real quick?
Let's go.
Yesterday in the chat, I saw some people say Obando should start over Luis Suarez on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's absolutely. You guys are smoking. You guys are on some other stuff. I mean, that is diabolical.
For people to say that Luis Suarez shouldn't start, it's wild to me. Because Luis Suarez, at his 38 years old, he's got a fourth of a good knee when you combine both of them.
A bunch of contributions.
I still think that he's playing well.
We just need to be a little patient. We need to be a little patient with Luis Suarez.
What goal was it? Was it the Segovia goal? The Segovia goal that got called back. When I watched that over, if you watch the replay of that, Luis Suarez passes it to Segovia. He could have passed it to Messi. Messi makes the run into the box. If you watch that back, there are literally, and go ahead, watch it back right now or later. Watch it back. There are 4 defenders that run with Messi into the box. Left Segovia, wide open top of the box. He scores the goal. Gets called back for an offside. But people need to realize that running without the ball, but running with a purpose, is also like an assist. Like Messi made that space for Segovia to take the shot. On Messi's goal, Suarez also makes a run that helps free up some space. Suarez makes a lot. Yes, he hasn't been the Suarez of old, but Suarez does create space for Messi and others to work. And it's kind of like the thing I used to say about Joseph when everybody would kill Joseph. I thought Joseph was playing well off the ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was creating
a lot
of space.
He's getting paid to score, so I get it. He's not fulfilling exactly everything he needs to do. But Suarez is giving us play off the ball.
Yes.
So, yes, I want him to finish those gimmies. But to say that Obando should start over him in a game of this magnitude,
a little ludicrous.
It's a little crazy. I think it's a little.
I mean, you guys want to start Drake Calendar too? I mean, what are we doing here?
No, Ustadi needs to start.
Yeah, of course. But that's basically where we're at. Now, Miami King is saying here, which is a good point, Obando won't even play on Wednesday game.
No, he won't.
I don't know about. I think he might get some time at the end.
No way.
No, you don't think he gets any time?
No.
Oh man. I mean, Angel's saying Obando is not ready. Listen, we've only seen like what, 20 minutes of Obando? We've only seen 20 minutes. Let me see. It was about 20 minutes when he ended up coming into the game. Let me see here. Obando ended up coming in, in the 70th minute. So we got 20 plus minutes of Obando, and we're ready to put him over Luis Suarez.
That's wild.
One of our better goal contributors in the last seasons. You guys are smoking something. So, and look, Santiago Munoz is saying Obando can start in a 4-2-2 or
and next week's regular season game against Chicago, maybe. Not in the Champions Cup win or go home game. No, that I'm sorry, that can't happen.
Danny, we got a super duper ooper super slam. Right there. Christian with the CH, shout out to you, my mortal enemy. Obando looked like he was going to piss down his legs. Suarez has to start.
You know what? I think that and shout out to Christian, appreciate that. I think that does have a lot to do with the heavy touch. That was a very heavy touch that he took to his left. But even then, he almost recuperated, somehow got the ball past Sean Johnson, which I don't know how that happened. And he almost recovered and almost scored anyway. But that guy, I forgot his name, so with a G, he did a split and saved the day. So
phenomenal defense. Phenomenal defense. Danny, let's talk some scenarios because the math just doesn't math right. Okay, the math is we're down 1-0, but like you mentioned in the last show, even if we have to score 2 goals,
we have to win by 2.
Oh yes, we have to win by 2. That's correct. Yes.
So 0-0 draw, we're eliminated.
1-0, it's a tie, and we go to PKs.
1-0, we win 1-0. We go to extra time and then PKs. Okay, that's best case scenario for winning by 1 goal. That's the only way we could win by 1 goal and still survive to extra time and then possibly PKs.
Being Nashville, basically.
Now, after the 1-0 result, winning by 1 goal, you get sent home. Because if you win 2-1, that means that they scored an away goal. It's tied 2-2. They have an away goal on you, which is the tiebreaker. You go home. You win 3-2. Again, that means on aggregate, it's 3-3. They got an away goal. They move on because that's a tiebreaker. So on and so forth. Because they won 1-0, if they were to score in our house on Wednesday, at that point, they win. No matter what, if we're tied on aggregate.
What a bad one.
The only way to win is 2 scenarios. Win 1-0, go on to extra time, and win in extra time or in PKs.
Or watch a hell of a game.
Or win by more than 1 goal. Those are the only 2 scenarios. That's it. That's that simple. Win 1-0, go ahead, move on to extra time, PKs, whatever it may be, win that way, or win by more than 1 goal.
God forbid AZ Rebellion, if they score 1 goal, imagine they score early. It's shutdown city for them. It's shutdown city for them.
Yeah, if they were to score early, that means we would have to score 3 goals, right? Because if we go down 2-0 and they have an away goal, that means we have to score 3 goals. And could you imagine because they do it when the game is tied, even when they're losing, they play a low block. Could you imagine having a 2-0, a 3-0 lead, basically?
Oh, forget
Could you imagine having a 3-0 lead? I think the coach will run out there and stand in the goal. Like, that's it. Like, you're not scoring 3 times.
Yeah.
So, it's gonna be interesting.
At that point, you're gonna have Ustadi playing more than sweeper keeper. He might be one of your extra attackers.
Yeah, you got to do the hockey, right? Pull out the goalie.
Yeah, at that point, there's no way, dude. If we take a goal first 30 minutes, wow. Well, okay, Mitch is
on Wednesday in the post game, I'm gonna bring this back up. Okay.
Yeah.
And the post game, I'm gonna bring this right back up, Mitch. And if you call it, I'm bringing this clip back up because he saw the script 4-1. I'm bringing this clip back up. We got to clip it 28-minute mark. We got to clip this and bring that back because if you saw the script, we're gonna let everybody know that you had that crystal ball, Mitch.
Joe Rako says I need to place a bet on LAFC ASAP.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
I think I might put the house on it.
So, like we said, this is the preview before the preview. Because tomorrow when we have Eric on, we like to talk a lot more about the other team and what they're thinking, what he's heard about their strategy, whatnot. But because it's such a big game, we decided to do a show where we're simply focusing on Inter Miami side of things. So
this is big.
I don't think our defense is good enough for this. I do think our defense has when we have Bright, in this case Redondo as a double pivot. We have Falcon and either Noah Allen or Toto Aviles. I believe in both of them. And then Jordi Alba and Ian Frey. I think our defense is stout, and with Ustadi back there. So, starting 11.
Sean is saying, I don't think our coach is up for this. I actually like Mascherano a lot this season so far. And let's go back to the Super Duper Slam real quick, Danny. Christian with a CH. Says, are we nervous about Messi's endurance since he was doing his best 2012 GOAT campaign impersonation for an entire 90 minutes on Sunday?
No. I will tell you, though, that eventually, if Messi starts to deteriorate throughout the season health-wise, people are going to point at the fact that we don't rotate at all, especially Messi.
Yeah.
Messi's just running out there all the time, which I don't hate. I think if he's doing it, it's because he believes he can. But sometimes you have, as the saying goes, you have to protect the players from themselves sometimes.
Yeah, Mike V dropping gems. Some people don't remember we had Makun and Ben Sweat at CB at center back. We are better. I mean, we had Mabika at center back and Low.
And Solana has a great point. My son, I told the story at the end of yesterday's post game that I told him he could get a toy for every game, for every goal that we score. And he started getting mad at Messi. He's like, why isn't he running? Why isn't he running? Tell him to run. He doesn't have to run. He's calculated with his runs. But I bring that up because Messi said Messi was walking for most of the game. And that's true. Messi is very calculated with his runs. So, but he's very physical also. He isn't scared of little contact.
Now, Danny, you wanted to talk about the starting 11 because I don't feel like we're going to be hurt on the defensive side. We're going to have Noah Allen. We're going to have Falcon. I feel like that Mascherano saved them for this game on Wednesday. And he also saved Frey for the game on Wednesday.
Okay. Do you think? Okay. So you're starting 11, Chris.
Not the Lujan. Come on.
Up top, Suarez, obviously.
Yes.
Segovia on the left.
That's the question, though.
And he was moving centrally a lot yesterday, giving Jordi Alba that left side because I felt like he was working a lot of link-up play in the middle of the field, which I thought he did great with. His footwork is phenomenal.
But that's the question, though, right? Like, what are we going to do at the top when it comes to the wing position?
Well, I think Segovia needs to start.
So you think Segovia is guaranteed start?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's
okay.
Best 11. To me, he's the left wing.
All right. So then we got Messi at the 10, but then right wing, if it's not Allende.
If it's not Allende, so we're both agreeing. If Allende is available, he has to start.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
If Allende is not available, Fafa needs to start.
Yeah, Fafa would be a better start than Taylor on the right side, 1,000%.
Okay, so we're going with that. I see somebody put Julian Gressel. He's not starting.
It would be great. But no, I think Fafa is taking the start.
Yeah, so do I. Okay, so we think that's the Allende, please. Yes, everybody. And he was training today, wasn't he?
Supposedly he was. Yeah, supposedly he was training, but then again, this is a calf issue. And I mean, these guys run for a living. Like the calf has to be 100% because if not, it's just going to re-aggravate once again. And of course, he's going to go balls to the wall.
Calf and hamstring injuries are the worst in sports because they just linger. Like you'll play 2 or 3 games and it'll get re-aggravated. So you have to be 100% before you come back. But I'd risk it for this game.
Oof. Oh, I mean, this is the biggest game. Just have him play and then sit him for another month.
If we get eliminated, you know how Solana was on here in the chat yesterday. He's like, yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's a game in April. I was like, yeah, I get it, right? But like, it's still fun to like care. But in all actuality, after tomorrow's game, if we lose, if you want to be technical about it, no game matters until November. I mean, Club World Cup, I know, but like, but until November, and I guess Leagues Cup, if you want to say Leagues Cup, but I think everybody's over the Leagues Cup by now. Like, if we win it, we win it. If we don't, we don't. The next important game isn't until the end of October or November. So throw Allende and his one calf out there and see what we get out of him. I'm okay with that.
I mean, look, we can just send Allende some Viva Peru.
Give him that. Give him, what is that they do? In football.
Sana culito de rana. That's what we need to do. We need some Viva Peru, some sana culito de rana. I mean, listen, I don't mind playing him this game and then just having him sit for another month or at least like a couple weeks.
Yeah. Jan is talking about the spray. Yeah, I forget what that spray is though. But yeah, just numb it up and just run out there. Give us at least the first half. Give us the first half.
My big issue, Danny, is that this tournament specifically was red carpeted for us. And for us to get knocked out at this round, it
Getting
would be
eliminated, yes.
a disaster.
Getting
a disaster.
Eliminated at this point this year with this roster is 10 times worse than last year. Because
oh my goodness.
Last year, we didn't have as good of a roster. Last year, Messi didn't play the first leg of the Monterrey game. And last year, our defense was supposedly horrible, and supposedly Tata was the worst coach of all time. This year would be
Ruiz red card.
So much worse. So much worse. It's so much worse. I don't even want to get into it. And I'm sure that we'll get into it. I haven't had a rant in like a year or two. It'll be rant season, I think, if we get eliminated. I've been trying to compose myself, but it's so much worse. But okay, so let's finish up our starting 11, and then we're gonna bring on Solana on here to talk game plan with us. Starting 11, we got Suarez, Messi, Segovia, Allende, and if not Allende, I think you agree with me, Fafa.
Okay. Yes.
Then the double pivot, hands down, Redondo.
Guaranteed.
We know, guaranteed.
There's
Jordi Alba.
Yes.
On the left. Guaranteed Ustari at goal.
Ian Frey guaranteed on the right back.
Nope, I don't think so.
What?
Not that I don't want him.
What?
Guarantee. Falcon, I think, is a guarantee. Yes?
Yeah, okay. And Noah Allen?
I think Noah Allen and Toto Aviles are question marks to see who's going to start. And I think that Ian Frey isn't a shoe-in at right back.
What?
Not because I don't think he should be. I think he should be. But last week, wasn't Frey a healthy scratch last Wednesday? Didn't he not play against LAFC? Or at least not start?
Danny, I don't care. If you put Lujan back there, Bouanga is scoring in 10 minutes.
Okay.
You put Wagan back there,
I'm asking you to
don't wish this.
I'm asking you to predict what you think the starting 11 will be, Chris.
Frey. That's it. And you need to stop the bad heebie-jeebies, like right now. Right now.
Well, I think that there's a chance that he doesn't start. I want him to start.
What? Solana? You need to get
Lujan did play. Yes. The first 5 minutes were rough. The first 5 minutes, but after that, he stood up well. He stood Bouanga up. And then Toto Aviles or Noah Allen. Who do you think?
I'd say Noah Allen.
Yeah, me too.
I'd say Noah Allen. I think that we need
Toto
more
Aviles,
than size.
I'm okay with either one, but I think Noah Allen starts.
I think Noah Allen meshes very well next to Jordi Alba, and I feel like him and Maxi Falcon play phenomenal together. Oh man, Angel, you and Danny are just wishing the wrath of Bouanga upon us.
Just because we don't talk about our ass all the time. We're talking about what possibly could happen. And I think that there's a possibility that Frey doesn't start.
Lawrence is saying,
his only duty is to defend.
Yeah. I mean, look, the right back never pushes up. And if anybody does, it's Ian Frey.
Mm-hmm. I think that there's a chance that Chelo or Lujan start over Ian Frey. That's not what I want. I want Ian Frey. I think Ian Frey is by far and away the best right back we have. But I think that that's who starts. All right, but let's get into what you think the game plan will be. But before we do, let's bring in Mr. Daniel Solana. How are you doing, sir?
Doing great. As you can see, I'm trying to silence the hate and amplify the respect. But I was listening to you fellas the first 45 minutes, and glad I get to hop on, talk a little game plan here.
Yeah, listen. The game plan is don't let Bouanga score on you, and if you got Lujan back there.
Yeah, but how many goals has Bouanga scored this season, Chris? I mean, he didn't do anything against Lujan last week. He like Danny said, it was a little iffy the first 5, 6, 7 minutes. But other than that, Bouanga didn't do anything. And now I wanted to bring up a stat that you guys were talking about. If you were scared, or Inter Miami has to score at least 3 goals if LAFC scores 1. Now Inter Miami has scored 3 or more goals more than 14 times in their history in MLS. So it's doable. And we've seen this team do it multiple times over the last year, since 2023, 2024. We've seen them do it multiple times. So it's very doable that they could score 3 goals, maybe 4, like one of the listeners said.
Now, something that I wanted to do before I came on here today, but as life happens, I didn't have a chance. And then Eric is coming on tomorrow. This is the preview of the preview. Tomorrow is the regular preview with Eric, Mitch. So don't worry. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock, we're going to have Eric to talk LAFC. We just wanted to really focus in on Inter Miami because it's such a big game. But one thing I did want to do, Solana, now that you brought that up, I wanted to go back and see how, since Messi's been here, how we've performed against teams that play that low block defense. Because, for example, Nashville was a team that played that low block that we always had difficulty against. We beat them 1-0. No, we ended up drawing 1-1 in that Leagues Cup final, which was we got that beautiful goal from Messi going to his left from outside the box. It was right in front of me. I was sitting right there. And that was it. That was the only goal we scored against them. Then we played them again a week or two later in the regular season, and I believe we drew 0-0. So beating or scoring goals against a low block isn't easy. And scoring 3 against the low block, very difficult. As of right now, what we need to do is hopefully get a 1-0, 2-0 win maybe, and not allow them to score.
Yeah, but Danny, if Inter Miami scores 1 early, and that's how you beat a low block, is you have to press very high early on, get an early goal. And by getting an early goal, that's going to open up the game, because now you force LAFC to come out of their low block, unless they're going to play that way the entire game and hope to go to penalties if that's what they want. But
that's what Dolo ball is.
Yeah, man. But I don't think so. But I think they're going to open. I think if Inter Miami can score an early goal, they'll end up opening up the game a little bit, and they'll be able to get into the net 2, 3, maybe even 4 times, like one of the listeners said. But I think it's very important to get that first goal early, within the first 15, 20 minutes at the most. You can't let the game get into past 20 minutes without scoring a goal.
That would be ideal. Tying up the aggregate 1-1 would be ideal. But I think if Cherundolo knows that his team at the moment is set for PKs, he's not going to open himself up. He might open himself up late in the game, but this is how he regularly plays. He plays that low block and plays the counter consistently every game, regular season and Champions Cup. I don't think he opens himself up immediately. Maybe if we go up 2-0, I see him opening up, because at that point you have to. But I don't think he opens up until maybe 70th minute. He's like, all right, F it, we got 20 minutes. Let's try to get this done. But I don't think he opens up just if we score 1 goal early. No. The way we open up that low block is going wide, where they give us the wide areas, and taking shots from outside the box. Don't be scared to take those shots. You got to make them honest.
So I want to mention something here, because people are talking about I looked up, because somebody mentioned something about Columbus took them apart in the second leg. Last time that LAFC scored, or Bouanga scored in the regular season, was against NYCFC on March 1st. Against Columbus, they scored 5 goals. And Bouanga was a part of 2 of them in one game and 1 of them in another.
Yeah, but Columbus scored 2 on them, and the second one in Columbus, the second game in Columbus.
Correct, yes. And Bouanga scored the only goal that they had in that game.
Yeah, but that goal was Columbus threw all their numbers up to try to get that game-tying goal. And Wagner had like an easy tap in like the 96th minute. Like, it was like literally he scored that goal with nobody defending, and they blew the whistle to end the game. So like, it was a garbage goal.
You're talking about all kinds of other stuff. I don't need to hear all that. Okay,
I'm giving you. I'm telling you that I don't need
any of that. I don't need any of that. He scored, and that's it. And it feels good to score in this tournament. He likes scoring in the tournament. We're cooked tomorrow if you put Chelo Egan or you put Lujan or whatever janitor you want to put there over Frey.
Wagner did nothing against Columbus in that second leg.
We're cooked.
All right.
Imagine they score in the first 15 minutes. Imagine.
Solana, no. If they score first, it's going to be a problem. Solana, what would be your starting 11 coming out tomorrow or Wednesday?
I would put obviously Ustadi in the goal, but if he can't go, and a lot of people are going to be surprised, I'd go with Drake. He's gotten the minutes.
Wait. No, I mean, I don't think anybody's surprised when you're talking seriously and you say Drake. Ustadi is injured.
No. I just said if he's out, because he didn't play last game. So I don't remember. Remember, he's nursing some sort of a calf injury as well. That's what he went out with in the prior game. So
I thought it was a cramp.
I mean, it could have been, but
it is a cramp.
I mean, but
it
could have been. It could have been a little bit more. Maybe that's why he sat out. But again, if Ustadi is not ready, I go with Drake. But my starting 11 is Ustadi on the right. If Frey can't go, then I go with Chelo Wigant. I go with Maxi. Or sorry,
if Frey can go.
If Frey can go, I go with Frey on the right.
Okay.
He gives you a lot more press than the other two.
But do you think that he'll go that way? Because he didn't do it last week.
You know, I think it has to do with the fact that if Frey, picked up a knock in yesterday's game or not, since he came out at halftime, he was holding his hamstring, like some folks said. I mean, if he can go 90 minutes, then I think you have to go Frey. He's really the difference maker down the right-hand side, especially offensively when you're going to press. Now, in the back line is where I think we're going to be a little bit different. I would go Toto Aviles and Maxi Falcon. And the reason why I would leave Noah Allen off the team sheet, at least not starting for this game, is I want a little bit more height. I feel like Inter Miami loses a lot of balls in the air, especially they don't win a lot of the second balls. And I would prefer a little bit of Toto Aviles' height and his speed in the back there. I know he's not as let's say great coming out with the ball as maybe a Noah Allen is in terms of controlling it, but I feel like that's a better pairing for tomorrow night or for Wednesday night's game. And then obviously Alba on the left, then the double five. We're all in agreement. We're all in agreement. Redondo and Bright, and then obviously if Tadeo can go, you have to go with Tadeo. He has been the difference maker down the right wing along with Ian Frey. So that's been, to me, the most surprising pairing this season has been that right flank, and then obviously Suarez, Messi, and then the other midfielder. I don't know if you go with a Taylor. He hasn't really shown me that much. You might end up having to go with with Telasco Segovia or maybe even Fafa. Telasco played okay last game. I thought he played okay. A lot better than what he showed in the last LAFC game. So I don't know, man. It's tough. It's really tough to put together a starting 11 when we don't know who's really injured and who's not. Again, you want to play your best 11. And I saw somebody say that it's going to be Luis Suarez's coming out party. I hope so. Because he's been a little absent the last few days, the last few games in terms of getting in the back of the net. But he's been, like you said, Danny, he gives space for the other players. He's been good on the assisting too. And yes, people have a lot of high expectations. So, look, I think, like I said, before, I think he's clutch in big games. He hasn't been for Inter Miami, but hey, he's due. So that would be my starting 11 for the game.
He's played so far 5 Champions Cup games. He scored, I believe, in 2 or 3 of them. So he shows up.
And look, Angel's saying it here. All Suarez needs is a goal to get going. That's what he needs. He needs to see the ball in the back of the net. At that point, it's all guns blazing, baby. Like, you don't want to see Suarez after that as an opponent. You don't want that. So it's going to be big time.
How do you think the attendance is going to be at the stadium?
It's funny that you mentioned that because I was actually considering looking at tickets because I don't know how many, with a bunch of stuff that I got going on. I don't know.
$50, Chris.
I thought it was starting up for 25.
Yeah, it was 25 on a special website that you can go to.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure they've gone up. I haven't really looked.
Those 25 ones might have sold out.
Maybe, yeah.
I checked earlier today; it was about $50. But going back to the attendance, Macherano was pretty clear in the comments that he said that he believes in this team and he wants the fans to be out there and supporting this team. And we've seen the negative, I guess the negative towards the U.S. or towards this cup, towards the CONCACAF champions. And the fact that the fans are not showing up and turning out to games. But I really hope that they do, because it does make a difference when, the stadium is rocking. And they said it on the telecast on the Sunday night game that the fans rocking the stadium, it makes it a very tough place to play.
Well, Sunday, it was a lot livelier than I expected. I thought Sunday night, because Monday morning kids got to go to school and the opponent was Toronto. And honestly, up until an hour before, the question mark was still there if Messi was going to play or start. So I really thought that it was going to be not that full, but it was a great environment, a great atmosphere on Sunday. So I'm really hoping that's Wednesday. Everybody shows up and shows out. I considered going when I heard it was $25 tickets, but those aren't available anymore, and I don't feel like making a 2-hour drive, honestly, on a Wednesday.
Well, I'll tell you, if you want to get ripped off, go to Ticketmaster and get yourself a $50 ticket, one in section 122, right by us, actually. And that's the cheapest rate you're going to find on Ticketmaster. You go to StubHub.
Can't wait till this team is playing in Miami, man.
You go to StubHub, and in the same section 123, row 29, you can get it for $43 a pop. Let's see how much one ticket is. If I put for one ticket, then you can actually get a seat in the Lego stand in the Northeast, and that's for $36. Row 24. You can actually get row 15 for $37.
Look, Wednesday is a big game. It's a big game, like I said.
It's huge.
It's a huge game. Like we don't have huge games throughout the season until the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's only if we move on, there's only 4 more games, counting this one, that are huge. It would be this one, the next 2, which would be the semifinal, and then the final. And then outside of that, then the playoffs. Like there's not many big games left. And at home, it would be this one. Semifinals, our home leg. And if we were by chance to host the final, that game. That's it.
I'm gonna go over to where everybody's telling me to go to, Mitch, and Stancy telling me to go to TickPick.
How about Chris? How about we hit up TickPick and tell them to sponsor our show?
We you know what? That would be a phenomenal sponsor.
I'm on TickPick right now, the cheapest ticket, and what's great about TickPick, guys, is it already includes the fees.
I'll look for it for myself.
It already includes the fees, so you don't have to say
what?
$47.
Oh, it is $59 all in.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, stop promoting them. They're not paying us yet.
All right, let's not do all that. Okay, guys? Don't send me no more TickPicks. All right? Calm down.
Whoa. All right. So I know we usually do predictions tomorrow, but F it. Let's do early predictions, and maybe in the next 24 hours we'll get nervous and we'll change them. But for now, how are you feeling at this present moment about Wednesday's game? What is your prediction? I'll start if you want. I'll start. I feel like Miami's going to win 2-0 on Wednesday.
I agree. I was going to say 2-0, and on top of it, I was going to say I feel calm, Danny. I'm not worried. I'm not,
if not, and this is, and because you are an Inter Miami fan, but Nacional is what you believe. If Nacional was in this position, though, how would you be feeling right now?
No, I mean, look, Nacional doesn't have the players that Inter Miami has. So, looking at their team, I mean, we played last week in Copa Libertadores against Atlético Nacional de Medellín, and I wasn't expecting to come out of there with a win, maybe a draw. They lost 3-0. So, I mean, that goes to tell you. But that doesn't mean that I'm worried. They play on Wednesday night against Bahia, and I'm not worried because I know that they have the players. But yeah, I get it. It's a big game, and there should be some nerves, going on in Inter Miami fans. But look,
it was so much that I told Chris, I was like, Chris, I know we said last night that there's no show until Tuesday, but I need to talk into Miami tonight. Like, that's how, like, I'm feeling it. Like, I'm feeling it. And I know by tomorrow it's going to be even worse. And Wednesday, I want to take Wednesday off of work, honestly.
Well, I'm working from home, so hopefully my boss.
I fucking hate you.
So I want to bring this up. Soccer Daddy, you need to get in touch with someone at TickPick and let them know to hit us up. Okay. If you work at TickPick, let them know we want to TickPick. Okay. And
three of them.
Yeah, 3 TickPicks. Okay, we won 3 in a row. Nokia 1011 is the best mobile phone. Says 2-1. I love playing Snake on that phone.
We're eliminated. 3-1, we move on. 5-1, we move on. 3-1, we move on. 1-0, we go into extra time. 6-1, Joseph Martinez hat trick. Sure, okay.
I think that it's going to end 3-1. I can't see us not conceding a goal.
I will tell you that I think the most heartbreaking thing would be to go 2-0 and then give up like an 88th minute garbage goal to LAFC. Awful. You win the game 2-1, but you get eliminated. Like, that would be heartbreaking.
I have a question about that, because now that you bring it up, let's say Inter Miami is up 2-0 and you're in the 70-something minute.
You don't park the bus.
No, but if you're Javier Mascherano, would you change, not park the bus, but at least change your formation to a back 5?
4-4-2. I know. Okay, back 5 depends. Is it a real back 5 or we having Jordi Alba back there? Because when Jordi Alba's back there, yeah, like it's still a 4. But yeah, I would change to a different. Definitely change my tactics. I would probably change to a true 4-4-2 with just Messi and Suarez up top, and not only play a low block, but I'd definitely become more defensive. I'd stop pushing up as high.
Would you take off Suarez if you're up 2-0 and bring in
I would leave Messi as the lone striker, and I might bring Brent Crumb. He's more energetic. He's like a locomotive out there, winning balls in the midfield. That's the time that I would like Busquets to be on the pitch, though, right? Finding those good, easy vertical passes into space where you could just hold the play. And well, let's see. This is Ronaldo's chance. Ronaldo's chance to have a short out part.
And there's nobody else. And there's nobody else. It's Bright, Redondo, and
they're riding 90 minutes. Yeah, they're riding 90 minutes, both of them. All right. I needed to get some Inter Miami talk out here today because it's a big week, and I feel it in my skin. Oh, by the way, you know what I haven't done in like 30 years that I randomly did today?
Drink a yoo-hoo.
I'm sure that can go plenty of places. I bought some cards.
Oh, baseball cards?
Yeah, I haven't bought baseball or basketball cards in like 30 years. And I saw this.
I got a couple binders. You want to trade?
Yeah, I still have some too. I got Kobe Bryant rookie cards that I need to get graded. But I'm excited to open this. I haven't bought cards in such a long time. I'm really excited.
What are you doing sitting on Kobe Bryant rookie cards, my guy?
Because I found out that you have to like mail it out to like Arizona to get it graded. And I was like, how do I know that they're gonna give me mine back?
I mean, you go and you kill them if they take your card.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean that solves it. Yeah,
we take a road trip and we bomb their establishment.
There you go. This is why I wish I could live in Chris's world, because these are the type of things that you're allowed to do in Chris's world. Forget Wayne's world. Let's go to Chris's world. Chris's world is so fun. You go and you just find dynamite to blow up bridges, just chilling in your house. Like it's just Chris's world is just phenomenal.
It's like that Ryan Reynolds movie that came out where he's like in a video game or something. I feel like that's what Chris's world is like.
It is. And then Xavier's asking, there's no local card. Nope. The only legit one, unless the last time I checked was like 3 years ago. But at the time when I checked 3 years ago, because I have a lot of cards that I think will be worth some decent money, and I have like 15 different Kobe rookie cards. It was like in Arizona, and it said that it was a wait time of like 3 or 4 months before I got it back.
By the way, Michael, the bats qualify. Okay, by baseball standards. Okay,
absolutely. Yeah, it's been documented, and all the teams are using them. All the teams are using them. Even the Marlins, I think they ordered I don't know how many. So all right,
send it. It's official. And yes, look, Dennis Lopez, if you're sitting on a truckload of Kobe's and Jordans, you need to send. I will get in touch with me and Bigote, and we'll move that truck for you. Okay.
All right. Well, we're going to go on now and Las Garzas en Español. Solana, we're going to get his take on Luis Suarez and the Luis Suarez hate. We're going to talk LAFC first leg, LAFC second leg, Toronto, all with Xavier Solana. Matt from SoFlo is going to join us also. So make sure that you join us there. So we'll be on there in like 2 or 3 minutes. Any final words, Solana?
No, man. It's been great. Can't wait to talk about the Luis Suarez hate and the Obando love. And just remember, silence the hate, amplify respect.
And
Chris, any final words?
Yeah, Sean Callahan, get out of here. You're going to try to get a Beckett card graded? The hell's a Beckett? Get out of here, man.
Ooh. I used to buy Beckett's all the time, every month, just to see the price change on my cards. I used to love buying the Beckett's. All right, we'll talk more trading cards in the future episodes because I feel like I might be getting drawn back in. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please give us 5 stars, comment, review, all the good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And as always, with everybody in the chat, we appreciate you hanging out with us for the last hour. You guys are by far the best part of the show. We don't just say that, we mean it. And again, join us in Las Garzas in a minute or two in Español on Las Garzas CF YouTube channel. So until the next one, have a good one.
Send me some take